victory if he can. Argos Shimano take control of the front of the race because they know that Degenkolb can get up to the top of this climb.
Katusha just bringing Joachim Rodriguez back to the front now. I was just thinking, noticeably absent at the moment at the front with Valverde and Joachim Rodriguez, but yeah, Joachim's moved up to the front now, looking out to follow Chris Froome on this last climb.
Now we get onto the little steeper section. 26 kilometers an hour. We've gone from 70k an hour to 22 kilometers an hour as we head up towards the park and the finish line. We're going to go up the climb for around about just over 3 kilometers. Then we have this slight downhill bit, and then we kick up to the finish. There's a big crowd awaiting these riders. Lovely sunny day, but Contador now attacks the rest of the riders on the climb. Well, he wants the bonus, and he is, I'm sure, not happy after being beaten yesterday. Contador attacks the front of the race.
He's taken an Omega Pharma rider with him. He's not going to ride at all. You know, he'll be given strict instructions not to ride with any of the GC contenders. Only 5k to go now. That was really early for Contador to go. You know, I wonder whether he just thought that was the start of the climb. I mean, that was a long way to go from the finish.
5 kilometers to go, and it was then Alberto Contador who tested the rest of the group out. Now we have the counter-attack starting to happen, but Team Sky have control. Maybe they're going to put Alberto Contador into some difficulty. As we look back from the camera, I thought that was Ben Swift who'd gone to the front, which would be a surprise, but lining up on the wheel, riders from Astana, also the King of the Mountains of this year's race, sitting third or fourth wheel. Looking now to see who's at the front of this race. Team Sky have control, 4 kilometers to go.
I think that was more Rigoberto around Anthony, just coming to the front, doing his climber domestique job, keeping the pace really high just to neutralise these attacks. Because once again, Chris Froome doesn't want these constant changes in pace. He wants to constant speed up the climbs, and that's what these look straight away. As soon as the speed slows down, again Sky come to the front.
4 kilometers of racing to go. The attack from BMC, and this looks like Balan now, the Italian, the former world champion. He was a name that Roger had written on his list, as Alessandro Balan turns the heat up on this climb and tries to go away. I think it's Nicholas Roach who's trying to go across.
Yeah, of course, in the Tour de France, Balan was 7th in this stage. Rodriguez is now coming across. He's noticed that was the best place to go on the climb. He knows this finish really well. He's from here. He knows the best place on this climb to go, and he's gone. Rodriguez
turns the heat up on the rest of the riders. Is Rodriguez going to take a stage victory?
Here comes Gilbert, Anthony. Gilbert's coming across to him.
Gilbert now makes a move on the right-hand side. There he is in the yellow, red and black helmet. Gilbert has had a troubled season. Rodriguez has gone very, very early in the red jersey. Is this going to lose him possibly a few seconds as Philippe Gilbert of BMC puts in a defiant chase to try and take to stage victory in this Vuelta Espana? Gilbert makes contact now with the wheel of Rodriguez.
Nicholas Roach there in third place, trying with everything he's got. He's got a grimace all over his face, just trying to keep contact with Joachim Rodriguez. He's doing a sterling ride. Now that Gilbert's taken straight over, this isn't good for the other GC contenders because Rodriguez can follow Gilbert now.
Yeah, absolutely. He's made a perfect move. Gilbert looks across as they go under the cable car. He looks at Rodriguez and says, come on then, you're the leader of this race in the red jersey. Work with me. I'll take you and give you a few seconds, and I'll beat you at the finish. That doesn't really matter. What matters to you is the red jersey as the race leader as they go firing past the camera.
Well, the thing about these two, Anthony, is they've both got a motivation now to ride together. Rodriguez is just going for GC time, Gilbert's going for the stage, so they haven't got a conflict of interest, so they will work together well to the finish. This is going to be really hard to close these two guys down because most of the leaders from the GC won't have domestiques left at this point of the race to close the gap for them.
3 kilometers of racing to go. 2 riders at the front who are quite similar in some ways, in some respects. Philippe Gilbert, last year he could win any race he felt like winning on a one-day classic style of event. Rodriguez, who this year has worn the Maglia Rosa as the leader of the Giro d'Italia, losing it finally to Ryder Hazedal, and now the leader of this Vuelta Espana and riding a magnificent race so far. As we look here at Nicolas Roche, mouth wide open, now trying to power his way across and take a win if he possibly can. It's all downhill, then it's a power run up to the final kilometre. Can Roche catch Gilbert and Rodriguez? 2 kilometres to go.
Well, Philippe Gilbert is really well known for being able to go downhill really fast, so to close it on this little descent will be very, very difficult to do. Rodriguez just struggling to stay in the wheel there. He can't even really stay too close.
Well, look at that. Gilbert tracking the motorbikes in front of him. You could see Nicolas Roche leaning the bike over, his knee right out like he was in MotoGP as he went through the corner, desperately trying to keep the bike tracking. And Rodriguez is finding it very, very difficult to stay on the wheel of Gilbert, but now he does. He gets back to the wheel of the man who last year. Now we're going to see the counter-attack, and it is counter-attack with Contador on the wheel of one rider from Vacansoleil. Where is Chris Froome? That is the question, because right now Froome is not in this line.
Valverde also in the wheel of Contador there, so the second and third on the GC are there, but they haven't got any teammates. That's the problem. They're having to close this themselves.
1 kilometre to go as we look at the 2 leaders on this race. Philippe Gilbert. Last year, Gilbert won absolutely everything. He won the Amstel Gold, the Flèche Wallonne, the Liège-Bastogne-Liège. He won a stage in the Tour de France. He won the Classica de San Sebastian. This year, Gilbert has won absolutely nothing. That is unbelievable. Is he now going to turn the tables and, just as we head towards the World Championships, win today's stage of the Vuelta Espana? It's Gilbert and Rodriguez heading to the finish.
There's still no concerted chase from the peloton, Anthony. It's just one rider, then the peloton's fallen still. Look at Valverde in second place there. He can't even take over to do the chase. This really bodes well for the 2 leaders, so I just hope these guys can hold on, because they've got an amazing attack. But can you imagine now the lactate that they'll have in their legs starting the final climb up to the finish?
Here we go as they set themselves up for the finish line. Rodriguez, the leader of the Vuelta Espana, 300 metres to go. They're going to set themselves up for the final couple of 100 metres into the line outside the Olympic Stadium. The red jersey of Rodriguez cementing his leadership. Gilbert, the former Belgian champion, flat out sprinting for the top of the climb. Philippe Gilbert, his first win of the season in the Vuelta Espana today. Look at that. Gilbert takes today's stage ahead of Rodriguez. Where are the other general classification riders? Valverde is across the line. Contador is across the line. Froome finishes now.
But that is the power of Gilbert. He's back to almost his best. If only Joachim Rodriguez can follow you on the climb, then you're going pretty well.
Well, I don't know about you, but this man is such a winner. This season he's been troubled. Today it all changes. The champion is back.
And back in the arms.